welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Long. With me, we have Senator Bret Alain, our Senator of District 21. This is great. Y'all don't know how long I have been waiting for this moment. As you know, I am pretty fierce. I like to go after, and here we are. I'm just so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't work out last year with the COVID and everything. It was, and my schedule being so tight, but I'm glad to finally be here.
Yes, thank you. And actually, there's a lot more to discuss since COVID. So let's get right to it. Let's just talk about what are those projects, where's the money? Because I always like talking about money on this show. The cha-ching, that's what I like to call it. First and foremost, which is a project that is moving forward very fast, it's the Wellness Center. And you were pretty much behind that, spearheading that venture along with others. But the Wellness Center, which is coming up in Franklin, the Franklin Foundation,
Right.
kind of tell us about that project and how it came to fruition.
Well, there was an opportunity. Franklin Foundation has a tax base. The residents in West St. Mary actually voted a long time ago to have a property tax to help support the hospital. Well, property taxes by the federal government are matchable, like 2.5 to 1. So every time, so we've been able to, with the help of the governor, because he has to give you cap space that allow you to do it, we can take that $2.25 million that we currently collect in that tax, and we can get a match from the federal government. We actually have to what they call IGT, intergovernmental transfer, and send it to the federal government. And then we send them the 2.3 million, and they send us back about 6 million, which I like that deal every day of the week. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing that for the last, I think, 8 years now. And that, along with some capital outlay that we were able to get, we've been able to put this money aside to take care of various needs. And when we were able to build enough of it, one of the new things out there, it's being done in Thibodeau at their medical center, is a wellness center. You know, hospitals take care of sick people. What we need to do is get in front of this and make people healthy so they aren't sick. Okay. I think it's a huge service. The building, it's going to be a $25 million project. It is fully funded. All the money is in place, and we are in construction. If you go down Northwest Boulevard, the structures there should be completed sometime in February of 23, with a soft opening sometime right after that.
So moving full steam ahead.
Yep, very excited.
And it is pretty exciting. It is, especially when you mention being able to kind of rival what's already out there in our neighboring parishes. Anytime we think of places that are booming around us, it's Terrebonne and Lafourche. I mean, we should be able to say, hey, look at what we got going on in St. Mary Parish.
Well, Thibodeau is booming with
yes.
their wellness center, and they have seen dramatic increases in the health of their population. Right. And that's the same thing we want to create here.
And I would definitely agree with you there. My only question is, do you think the surrounding community will be able to sustain this building with, through membership? Because this is going to be a membership, correct?
It will be a membership, and yes, I do. Before we embarked on this, we hired consultants to come in and do an evaluation. Now listen, there is a membership, but for anybody who's on Medicaid or has a private insurance, Blue Cross has already signed on, most of them will participate and cover anywhere from 75 to 90% of the membership. Come on. So why wouldn't you? Now you have to show participation. Mm-hmm. You have to go there at least twice a month. Or they have certain rules that they do. Okay. But no, it's going to be very affordable. A membership without the participation is probably going to be under $50 a month, which is as cheap as any health club around here, with so many more services and pools, yep. and lap pools and activity pools.
And even a restaurant. It's going to have a restaurant.
Yeah, it's going to have a little bistro in it with healthy venue, and there's going to be a first-class convention space, if you will, meeting space in it, 6,500 square feet, which is quite a
yeah.
big place.
Awesome.
This is a 60,000 square foot building. We're going to have the Ortho LA, the orthopedics will be in there and all of that. So very excited about it.
That's like one segment already. So
I know.
as much as you're right, we have lots. I don't know if you guys can see. He has like piles of paper, and I want to get through all of it. So come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast, and I promise we're going to get through a lot more in the coming segments. Thank you so much. See you soon. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Let's get right to it because I had one full segment talking about the Wellness Center, which is good stuff. But also along that corridor, there's going to be a roundabout and there's going to be a slew of historical lampposts.
28 lampposts that'll be replaced with the historical lampposts that are that Franklin is pretty well known for.
And that's going to be at the entrance of the actual Franklin entrance.
Right,
Which
at
is
the intersection of Yoakley Road and Northwest Boulevard.
Right. Well, we already know that there's as you get off the bridge, or you exit onto Northwest Boulevard, 3211, you see there's the renovated gas station.
Right.
And you're going to
Mr.
also
D's.
you're going to be greeted by historical lampposts. In addition to this roundabout, I'm just curious I just want to know about the roundabout because I'm gonna tell you, I got a little flack because I wanted a roundabout in Morgan City, but frankly, you're doing it. You'll be the first one to have a roundabout.
That'll be the first roundabout in St. Mary Parish.
Yes.
We're building them all over now. They seem to be very beneficial in moving traffic. So we're going to put the first one in St. Mary Parish right there.
Right.
And I'll give you a little bit of scoop. We have contracted with a consulting firm. Since we're doing the Wellness Center and making so many changes, we may be rebranding Franklin Foundation into another name.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
It's all part of the master plan of moving that forward. So we're very excited about that too.
I love scoops. So
Yes.
you just made me smile. That's right. We got a little more to go. Let's see if we can get some more scoops out of you.
Yeah.
So a couple of really all about the money because we're going to talk about all the projects. Now you mentioned something we talked about roundabouts. Let's stick with DOTD because that's a DOT venture as well. Let's talk about our bridges. District 21 you have a large scale. So let's maybe start from the west end to the east end. So let's start over on the west end.
So on the west end, very disappointing. They inspected the bridge at Sharonton and they've condemned it. It's slated to be replaced. Now that's liable to be a 2-year process, but listen, I'm not going to speak for DOTD. They're their own entity. Mm-hmm. The bridges, Oaklawn should be opening any day now. Of course, we've been hearing the same thing for a couple of years now. I think we're getting very close. Look, I've got bridges all across. I mean, we're building a Brady Bridge in Terrebonne Parish and several bridges along. But look, we are dedicated almost $1 billion extra this year to infrastructure all over the state. Mm-hmm. People have asked for it long enough. We've had the money this year. We put away an extra $200 million toward I-49 and the corridor going through Lafayette to try to get Highway 90 upgraded. $200 million for the bridge in Lake Charles. $300 million we dedicated for the bridge in Baton Rouge. That's only a down payment on all of those. But I-49 we can spend now. We also put another $150 million worth of preservation funds into Highway 90 for resurfacing. There's a lot of bad spots between Lafayette and Lafourche Parish that need to be improved. We believe that 30% of the people going to New Orleans would take Highway 90 if it was in better condition. And that would alleviate the problems in Baton Rouge and all the congestion they have there. Okay. So I think you're going to start seeing in the next year or two, hopefully we'll get the complete section between Lafayette and LA1 completely resurfaced, or at least the problem spots taken care of.
Okay. Let's see if we can get right back on the bridges really quickly,
Sure.
particularly the ones right here in Morgan City, US 90 and 182. My goodness, we're running out of time. We'll pick up when we get back, and we're just going to try to talk as fast as possible. But you are hitting all the really some major projects, and we'll get right back to that.
Sure.
So come on back. We're going to get it going and give you all the updates necessary so you know what's going on in your area. So stay with us right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back. Let's get right to it. Lots to cover. We ended off on talking about the bridges, particularly the two bridges right here in Morgan City, Berwick. We have US 90 and 182. What's the status?
Okay, the new bridge, I call it, is almost completed painting. Believe it or not, they ran out of paint, and there's a shortage of industrial paint to be able to finish the project, and that's all we're waiting on. As soon as that happens and the last coats of paint are acquired and put on, the barriers will be moved and we'll be back to 4 lanes.
Okay.
So they're waiting to bid the old bridge. As you may know, they originally, DOTD wanted to tear it down, but we fought to keep it alive. $5 million to tear it down, but $10 million to repair and paint it. So that bid will go out as soon as the new bridge is finished. Now, unfortunately, we won't have use of the old bridge. The new bridge, so they don't have to put up all the barriers and protect the cars, and there's really not the room to do that. They're going to have to close the old bridge completely while they're doing the repairs and the painting.
And are we expecting that to move a little bit faster? I know, again, you
I
can't
hope
speak.
so.
Okay.
Well, with them having not to put up all the
Yeah.
barriers, and if they can just go there and clean it and paint it and do the repairs underneath that they need to do, I'm hoping. But this is DOTD we're talking about.
I know. Well, we got them coming up, so y'all make sure to always stay tuned right here because they are coming. They're one of my next guests. Let's get right to it. And I'm going to tell you this. First of all, let me preface. You're a powerful man.
No.
You're a powerful man because let's talk about this next project. We actually posted this on our Facebook page. St. Mary Excel had been working on this. They did a lot of the groundwork on trying to designate St. Mary Parish as a linear site. Just as a background, can you kind of tell us what the linear is? And then I'll get right into my next question.
That's a designation of a special designation, and I've got the actual Louisiana National Estuarian Research Reserve, NEER. Is a network of protected areas representative of various biological regions. But the bottom line is, when you get this designation, it comes with the federal government coming in and building buildings and setting up research and bringing in people to do all of that. We well expect to have a very nice building and campus set up to accommodate NEER. In most areas, this has turned into a tourism attraction, which we're looking forward to working with the tourism people. And it brings at least 60 to 100 employees.
Yes. And look, again, we're all about the money, all about trying to grow this
Jobs.
area. So when I mentioned that you were a powerful man, backstory for a lot of folks, we were not slated to be the designation.
There were four areas that were vying for the designation. You know, we made some pretty good arguments. There was a lot of push to have Pontchartrain designated because of the population centers there, and politically it would have been, there was a lot of political capital being used to have that done over near New Orleans and the North Shore. But we obviously had the better site, and we were able to go to the governor and talk to him and convince him that this needed to be done. And at the end of the day, he gave Lower Chafalaya the designation.
Yeah.
Now, we still have to fight to make sure that the center of NEER is here in Morgan City and not stolen away and brought to the new Coastal Center or Nichols or any place else.
Yeah.
But I think so far, everything I've heard is we're going to have that center right here in Morgan City.
And to me, it just makes sense for it to be here. I will say
Absolutely.
because St. Mary, we have some of the fastest growing deltas. So why not here? I mean, we hear it all the time, especially when Mr. McWade is here. We talk about how we are growing. We definitely have our issues with trying to dredge everything, but we're growing. We're
Right.
not losing land. So that to me is just at least one reason to have it here. So come on back. We've got a little more to cover right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back, and again, let's get right to it. You know who I am. We know who you are. Let's talk more. We talked about Lanier, so let's kind of transition to the Coastal Center. That's at Nichols State. Again, you had your hand in that. This is how much was for that project, having this Coastal Center at Nichols?
So it was originally, before cost overruns, it was originally going to be a $12 million project. We had to put another $6 million into it. So it's a $17 million project. But it is like the River Center, the research center up at LSU on the Mississippi River as you cross the bridge. This is going to be a coastal center just for the Chaffalaya and Terrebonne and Terrebonne Basin areas to research this area.
Just curious, and I didn't ask you this. I just want to know, is it going to also incorporate, there's BitNep, the Barataria
Yes.
Terrebonne National Estuary Program.
It's all part of the.
Okay.
All part of the same thing.
Okay. And with the Coastal Center, what does that bring? I mean, obviously,
So all of the, listen, we're going to be
research.
spending, CPRA needed another outlet here, and we need place to train people. We're going to be spending $50 billion in the next 50 years restoring the coast. And you're going to need people, and you're going to need coordination, you're going to need research. This is mainly, the other one was to take care of the river. This is going to be ground zero of where most of coastal restoration will be centered around in the future. Listen, UNO wanted it, UL Lafayette wanted it, they all wanted it. We were able to bring it to Nichols because it made more sense. It was closer and more connected to the coast than any other university. And I'm proud to say we got it placed by CPRA at Nichols State University.
Sonny, put that camera on me, because I got to say, that's because this man is powerful. He doesn't want to say, he said all these other places wanted it, but we got it.
A poor sharecropper from St. Mary Parish.
All right. Also a nursing school, $25 million. I mean, that
$25 million there's a severe shortage of nurses in the state of Louisiana. Healthcare is everything as far as I'm concerned. We needed to increase input. Every university is looking at doing it. We were able to get a designation to, we already had a nursing school at Nichols, but this will increase the output by 50% and get them the latest and greatest technology and teaching tools. $25 million we're spending. Right now we've got in priority 2, which is money that's coming up this year, $4.25 million to do the design and the foundation work, and next year we'll move the rest of the money in to be able to build the building. And
let me say this, I can't put my finger on, I can't remember what school, but there's another school in this state that is known for nursing. So this is gonna, I'm sure, rival that school and maybe bring more people to our area. Tax reform. This is on the state level. I know you've been working with that. I know you've done the tour, the circuit, and been promoting this. This is great for the state, not just for St. Mary Parish. We've got our tax basis now from 6 to 4.25. Is that right?
Correct.
Right.
Top rate of personal income tax will go from 6% to 4.25%. Listen, this is just one of the I think we've so far passed 25 or 26 bills doing reform, a little piece at the time, but when you add them together, they're huge. That's been one of my things that this state is way behind in tax reform. Other states are way ahead of us. We were ranked 47th. We're bringing that ranking with the reforms that we've been doing into the mid-30s with the the tax foundation. Our ratings are improving. We're getting more looks. This will attract people and businesses to the state of Louisiana for far into the future.
So that definitely looks good on your track record, your report card. So this is my last question for you. You have one more year left to your term. What's the future look like for you?
I'm going to do the best I can in my position to improve the state and improve the conditions in St. Mary Parish and bring as much projects here that are much needed. Beyond that, you're not going to get an answer.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, in that case, we're going to leave it right there. Still a lot of stuff left on my plate here, but I think for the most part, we hit a lot of the high notes. We'll just have to get you back another time, hopefully before your year's out. But we thank you very much, and we thank you. Make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22. Take care.